You're watching Global Calgary. This is Global News Hour at 6.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Over the past 24 hours, there have been 165 new cases of COVID-19. And unfortunately, the province has confirmed another death.
Tonight, distance enforcement.
There's also power being provided to the police.
Why people breaking the new rules could be in trouble. Also, border backup. Canadians in the U.S. try to make their way home. And healthcare holdup.
Provide the appropriate protective equipment that nurses are asking for.
Why some medical staff say they don't have the tools they need.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Chris App and Kathy Lee.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. There are 31 new cases of COVID-19 in Alberta, which brings the total in our province to 226, the third most in Canada.
11 people are in the hospital, 6 of them in intensive care. The rest are recovering at home.
The majority of Iranian community, they call it a victory. For a long time, they were waiting for that.
How an Iranian Albertan newspaper is sharing the news that a top Iranian general was killed in an American airstrike, and the reaction from its readers.
Severe illness, collapsed lungs, or even death. Would that make you reconsider putting products like these into your body? Well, healthcare officials here in Canada are warning vapors, but are they listening? Or has the alternative to smoking now become even more addictive and possibly more lethal?
That would be a definite no-no under the policy, as would Dave Letterman's beard. Jason Momoa, again, a little on the long side. I personally like it. But yeah, I think our management team would have a bit of a problem with that.
Coming up, beards in the Calgary Police Service. With a change in grooming policy, we see who would make the cut and who would need one to stay on the force in Calgary. We begin tonight with breaking news out of Iran. An Iraqi official says a second airstrike has hit a pair of vehicles carrying members of Iran-backed militia north of Baghdad. Initial reports say 5 people have been killed. This latest strike coming one day after a U.S. airstrike killed Iran's top military commander.
This is CBC Calgary News.
Good evening, I'm Rob Brown in the CBC Calgary studio. Some chilling first-hand accounts are now emerging from that killing spree in Nova Scotia, which left 22 people dead. The CBC interviewed the brother of one of the victims about what he saw and what happened to him. And just a warning, you may find some of the following details disturbing.
Frustration and anger after a hockey program is put on ice.
People are devastated. They're really upset.
Current, former, and would-be players react as the University of Lethbridge shuts down its hockey operations, stepping up for both consumers and charities.
We're labeling it by hand and bottling it by hand.
The Made in Lethbridge solution to the hand sanitizer shortage, and
well, the nice weather isn't coming to an end just yet, but there are some cooler temperatures in the days ahead.
You're watching Global Lethbridge. This is Global News at 6.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the first noteworthy grass fire of the spring season. It ignited around 2 o'clock this afternoon near the Bridge Valley Golf Course. Quinn Campbell reports.
Today on the CTV News at 5, Play On.
It's really sad when we have to walk by and they just get to stare at them.
After 2 months, the city removes the tape around playgrounds. Also Park and Go. Waterton prepares for its first visitors in a while. And keep walking. Why a pandemic won't stop the Alzheimer's Society from raising money for a good cause.
Telling your stories. CTV News Lethbridge with Chris App.
Good afternoon. Playgrounds will reopen tomorrow, but it's up to families to protect themselves. The city says it's up to parents and caregivers to make sure kids are still social distancing and washing their hands before and after they use the equipment. Terry Vogt reports.
Tonight, taking precautions.
We can't keep up with the supply.
Fear of the coronavirus has Medicine Hat residents stocking up on health supplies. And significant funding. The Kenny government is planning to spend money for upgrades and renovations to the Medicine Hat Hospital.
Plus in sports, the Rattlers women's basketball team irons out their final wrinkles before provincials.
From Medicine Hat, this is the Chat Evening News with Dan Reinish.
Good evening, and thank you very much for watching. While there are 33 known cases across Canada, there are no cases of the coronavirus in Alberta right now. However, that isn't stopping Hatters from taking precautions.